Hello there, this is Adam Scott Campbell with John Through. Been quite a bit since I last posted, but I just wanted to talk today about um, my why, your why. Um, I know that when we have the right, uh, when we have a strong why, we can do anything, we can overcome anything. And part of the challenge for me, um, you might be dealing with this as well. Part of the challenge for me is that I've been in a mindset or a life of survival from my beginning. I've been struggling most of my life because I don't think I've had that mindset, and I'm still wanting to find that mindset in full of abundance and of prosperity and of success and of and I know that it's a mindset thing, and maybe you deal with this too. I do know that survival is necessary. If we don't survive, well, we're not here anymore, are we? But there's things that need to happen in addition to that, or after that, and one of those things is finding your why. Beyond survival, finding the reason you're here on this earth, reason you're here in this life to do whatever thing it is you're here to do. Uh, a couple of years ago or a few years ago, um, I came up with this phrase that describes what I'm here to do, and it's touch another heart and save another life. Those two things are not the same. They're not the same thing. They do go well together, but they're not the same thing. It's saving a life is when you touch a heart, you quite often save a life, but sometimes you touch a heart and it's not the life is saved, but it helps. So, uh, you know, I think about um, I think about the struggles we all have. I think about the difference that having the right mindset makes in how we approach whatever challenge it is we might have. Um, you know, my growing up as a teenager and 20-something-year-old, man, we had a group of friends. We all went backpacking, and we do this quite often. And we went to the canyon. I've been to the Canyonlands twice for a week-long backpacking trip each time, and I've been to the tops of quite a few 14ers in Colorado. Um, I've been to other places as well, and there's something about getting out in nature that really kind of helps reform or reestablish the right why. For me, getting outside, just getting some fresh air, some sunshine, really can help uh, reframe things. So I just little things can help, and I also know that sometimes we each have some monstrous thing we're dealing with, and it's a bit big for us to handle, and so we can't really. It's hard to see around it or see other things besides the one thing that is so huge and blocking our way. Um, so I guess my question to you, to me, to anyone is: do you have the presence of mind to just step back for a minute, just to kind of get a better perspective or a better view of your reality, not the situation's reality, but your reality? Um, my In my belief system, excuse me, in my belief system, we are each of us a child of a loving Father in heaven, and part of that belief is that we can overcome anything, and because we have Him with us, and we're also, as children of deity, we have deity as part of our spiritual DNA, if you will, and it changes your perspective. It also helps those who believe in that to know that they can overcome whatever big, huge obstacle, boulder, mountain that stands in their way. Um, I know that uh, it's been life is a challenging for each of us, and if it's not challenging yet, just wait. It gets better. But there's I was asked recently by a young man, probably a teenager, I imagine. He's like, well, why do we even go through this stuff? And I was like, and to me that's an obvious answer. If you don't go through hard stuff, you don't develop. And I'm not a I exercise at the gym when I can, but I don't consider myself a gung ho bodybuilder or anything like that. But I do like to exercise. But it's like same principle applies in life. It's like when you work out a muscle, it gets hard. It's hard, even if you have the right weight for your muscle type, or wherever you're at in your journey as a muscle builder, as in muscle building. You don't go from here to here. You go from here to here to here to here to here to here. You know, so you work out your biceps and you have like 30 pounds that you're doing, um, uh, you know, curls on, and it's like you don't go from 30 pounds once you've done 10 reps. You don't go next time to 57 pounds or 58 or whatever, 60 pounds, and you don't go there, immediately. You go from the 30 pounds you were at and you go to 35, then you go to 40, then you go to 45. It's like, and the same thing, the same principle of little by little or incremental progress goes with everything in life. If you want to build a business, you don't do it like that. If you want to touch hearts and save lives like I do, um, you don't just go up to some random person. You can, but you don't just normally go up to a random person and expect to change their whole life, just by your presence. Miracles happen and we touch each other's lives, but it's like that's not something you plan for in the moment. You just communicate with people. So I just think, you've got struggles and you've got mountains to overcome and oceans to wade through and fires to endure. And, the reason for all this is because it's making a stronger, better, more powerful, more pure you. Um, that's why, I think that's why I went through my stuff, or have gone through the stuff that I have, so far, is that God, is making me into the person that I'm born to be. And you have to go through the hard stuff, the fires and the oceans and the storms and the everything else to make each of us into who we have to be. And the struggles don't detract from who you are. The struggles don't, the things you go through aren't an insult on your worth or anything like that. It's quite the opposite. When you go through the fires, your purest gold is made bare. And it's the same principle. When you go through hard things, the stronger person comes out. And I do know that, when you're in the thick of it, when you're in the middle of the struggle, it's not, you don't talk that way usually. I didn't, through my stuff. Usually I would just be like, okay, something I got to do. So I just keep on walking, you keep pushing, keep trying, and hoping for that day when you finally hit your stride. Um, so uh, I think I think you already know. I think you already know that you're capable of doing what you can do, what you're here to do. Um, I think sometimes we're afraid of what we can do and afraid of our own capacity, because here's where we're at, here's where we know we can be, and it's like traversing from here to here, or the thought of traversing from here to here is a bit much. So you know, I perspective is important. Remembering your why, like why are you doing this? Why are you struggling forward? Why you keep putting forth the efforts? Because you know that you're worthy of a better day, and that's really all I want. That's really the bottom line to this, and um, just remember that you're worthy of a better day, and keep pushing. And you know, you can do this, and you are doing this. So proud of you. Keep it up. It's Adam Scott Campbell, drawn through. Thanks so much.